Aloha, welcome to MoonDaze here on New Paradigm Healing Academy. I am Michelle Jericho Poplar of Queen Mabsy LLC, here to tell you about the astrology that is happening for us, not to us. Anyway, I need to take some grounding breaths because, boy, that Mars energy conjunct Neptune over the weekend. Woo! So Mars is in Aries, and Mars is at home in Aries, and he met up with Neptune. Neptune is dreams, and it also dissolves. So we had a little bit of an ego disillusion, or a dissolving of the ego. So, here Mars feels like, yeah, I'm home, but then guess who's there waiting for him? In Aries, it's Neptune reminding him of all the things that he learned while going through Pisces. How to work with emotions or energy and motion. How to feel our feelings and process so that we can perpetuate healing. With Saturn also in Aries, we have the ability to create new structures that facilitate the body healing. Aries rules the body. Aloha, Deborah. Welcome. All right, so let's see here. I gotta do the whole thing. Aloha. And then I have to do a little thing to say okay, and enter. No. Okay, reply. Okay. It's always is tricky to get everyone on here. Let's see here. Everyone. Okay. No, I don't want to tag. Okay. No, it's not working out for me this time. That's just kind of it. Let's see here. All right. Well, Deborah's here, so that's cool. I'm 15 minutes late. So I was born with Mercury retrograde, so I'm usually a little timey-wimey, wibbly-woobly, and I do things backwards so that I can get forwards. If you know anyone who has a neurodivergency, chances are they might have a Mercury retrograde in their chart. And if you are curious if you have a Mercury retrograde in your chart, that means that Mercury is the planet that's closest to the sun. So it appears to do a thing, what we call retrograde, when we're traveling on Earth a little faster than the planet. It's like a little racetrack, and it appears that it's going backwards in the sky. So Mercury goes retrograde about 3 times a year from our point of view here in the solar system, and it can notorious for everyone going, oh no, my electronics. Generally, rule of thumb is not to buy electronics during that time or sign contracts unless you started the contract before the Mercury retrograde went into effect. We just had a Mercury retrograde during Pisces season, so we're still kind of feeling and dealing with that, as Mercury has not yet moved and followed the stellium of planets from Pisces into Aries. So we're still kind of wrapping up the mind, the clearing, the consciousness, the subconscious thought patterns, which is thought patterns. is what Mercury represents. The Egyptian deity Thoth is actually also associated with the planet Mercury. Thoth, if you want to know. So Thoth, thought. Just a little fun fact. So we're gonna go into talking about, firstly, we have a wonderful new moon happening for us over this week on the 17th. So we're gonna talk about that first, because that's going to give us some overarching feeling themes to like build up to. So the chart here is very unlike, as far as where the apex is of the new moon. Here in Hawaii, I have it set, it's 1:51 a.m. Hawaii Standard Time. So adjust the time for the new moon apex where you be. We have a very interesting meetup, a stellium of partners hanging out in Aries. Aries is the sign of doing, entrepreneurship, action, warriors. On the life negating side, it can look in the external world like more global conflicts. There's never been a time in our recent memory where humans haven't been going at it one way or another, because we live in this third density reality, and there still is polarity as we seek to shift paradigms into neutrality so that we can dissolve the old life negating patterns that no longer serve. But in order for that to happen, so it looks like we are going through this Aries season, some of the big dogs need to get their yayas out, and the plutocracy, Pluto in Aquarius, needs to reinvent its fortune and commitments. As of this new moon, Pluto will be hanging out with the asteroid goddess Juno. Juno rules commitments. She's Jupiter's wife, or she's Hera, Zeus's wife. So Jupiter and Zeus, kind of the same archetype, rule that same planet. Juno and Hera, same archetype. She represents where we commit in the chart. So there's a new commitment occurring in the collective because these planets are in Aquarius. Aquarius rules the collective. And there is a harmonic trine happening from this meetup of Juno and Pluto to Uranus, sitting at the anaretic final degree, last degree of Taurus. Taurus rules fixed earth. It rules money, minerals, things that we thought are stable. And since Uranus is here, we have new choices to make. This is the last time Uranus is going to be here for about 80 years. So, as Uranus closes out its time, and it's been on these final degrees of Taurus for a couple years now, pendulating back and forth, retrograde, direct, going over these last degrees of Taurus, really trying to get us to let go of these old fixed patterns and attachments, comforts. Let them go. Fossil fuels. And move on to Gemini, air, light, speed, artificial intelligence, or communication, Gemini is the sign of, ooh, mama, it's a mama chicken. Hang on, I have to just close this door here so they don't. No chickens in the house. There's nothing in there for you. So many chickens because it's springtime. We just had the spring equinox on March 20th. So, of course, naturally, we had a couple of hens have some chicks. And we have two mama hens, and one mama hen was, she had so many eggs, too many eggs, you couldn't even keep them all under there. There's probably a metaphor here. She's like, I'm trying to keep them all under there. 5 of them hatched. 5 of them hatched. 4 were yellow, and 1 was black. And she's a black mama hen. She's right over here. Here, let me show you. See, there she is. There she is. Come on now. It's my little e-vehicle cord anyway. So, she rejected the little one that doesn't look like the others. Pecking at it. So sometimes they will reject a chick because there's something physically wrong with it. Well, it seems fine. My daughter is taking care of it right now with her friend. Seems to be eating and hanging out and doing okay. So far so good. Taking care of an extra little chick. But it made me curious. I was like, wow, this hen the little black chick looks like the black hen, but she prefers all of her little yellow chicks. I'm like, well, that's weird. So, make with that what we will. There are still paradigms in the biology of what is mirroring out in reality of that these divisions of things we still kind of agree upon that they exist because there's something that we need to resist or fight against or fix. And because there's more evidence keep popping up that these things are still true. So how do we shift that? How do we shift out of the old paradigms? Well, Mercury is now in Aries as of this new moon. We'll be at 3 degrees Aries, joining Mars and Saturn, which will be together. So our mind and our actions and what we're learning are going to be hanging out in the early degrees of Aries. So the basics of our body. So best things to do for ourselves this week is really to, if you have the monkey mind going off on worrying about illusions and delusions that are being sold to us through external media, really allow yourself to get into your body, movement and physicality, yoga, tai chi, swimming, walking. Your mind starts going off on trying to solve or overthink, because all of these planets in Aries, the best thing for us to do is to move our bodies, and then the energy will move. In the higher degrees of Aries, the new moon will be at 27 degrees, which is spirit and feelings, which nets to what we act upon, 9 degrees, which is the degree of Aries, what we act on. What aligned actions are we taking for our healing? Because guess what? The new moon is also conjunct Chiron, which is the asteroid that represents healing. Healer, heal thyself. That is the message of Chiron. The other body that's hanging out with this new moon is Aries, and Kuiper belt object that hangs out past Pluto. She is the goddess of discord, or in a positive sense, she is the activist, the female activist, the feminist activist, also known as Aries' sister. And being that she is in Aries, she's a very long, wide orbit. So she's been in Aries for quite some time and will be there for a while. But there will be a feminine activation, and I emphasize the word act, this week over this new moon. Also because Venus at home in Taurus. Venus is the feminine energy. Mars is the masculine energy. And we each function in this third density with both masculine and feminine. And what we were working on over the last closing of the year of 2025, with all that grand water trine and all that stuff that was happening, was activating us to have a healthy container with our bodies in order to be able to process our feelings. Now in Aries season, we get to be tested on how we innovate those things, which is Uranus is innovation. And this is also in a harmonic aspect to that Pluto in Aquarius. That is the collective. So we're really, if you're empathic, and you are, Deborah, we're all in New Paradigm Healing Academy because we have an ability to feel other people's feelings. So how we alchemize what we're feeling is through that body movement and through that innovation. It's less about thinking about it and more about doing something about it. And that might not necessarily be anything complicated, because doing the dishes can change your entire universe. Just about the mindset that happens when you get into that state of enjoying the mundane and escaping into the mundane and allowing the mundane to be the most transformative times. The magic of the alchemy can happen in those moments. And the North Node and Pallas Athena and Vesta, these bodies are still in Pisces. The North Node is a mathematical point of where the collective unconscious is unknown. It's like the unknown destination in the darkness that we all know we have to lean into. And that is presently at 7 degrees Pisces, which is spirit, God, source, high self, creator. So leaning in to the beauty of connecting to spirit. Pallas Athena is the goddess of knowledge. And she is going over the places that we just had, Neptune and Saturn and Mars and Venus, all those stellium of planets go over, which is the cusp between Pisces and Aries. The gate, hello, Boyle, kids. The kids are back from their adventure with the chickadee chick. How was it? The park? Was it fun?
Good.
All right.
No people who thought that our chick was a toy.
Oh no, it's a living thing.
That's what I was saying.
Right?
We're gonna put him. He's really sleepy.
Oh, he needs to take a nap. or she or they. We don't know. Gender fluidity and gender neutrality, that's part of it. So that's been a part of the theme too, with the Mars and Venus activations through Pisces. That is going to be another theme that's going to keep coming up for transmutation. More neutrality, less duality. Anywho, so that is the new moon, so just mark that on your calendars, set your intentions to, don't worry about making any fancy rituals or anything, just do your yoga, your physical practice this week, and then you'll be in full alignment with these energies. The hardest aspects that I'm seeing with this new moon is this square to Jupiter in Cancer. Jupiter is the planet of joy, expansion, but he also expands whatever he touches. So be mindful to not be in your mind. If you're mindful, stop it. Stop being so full of your mind. This Jupiter is going to make your mind too full. It expands all those thought patterns. So if you're going to have any thought patterns, make sure that they're full of hope. Or surrender. Let yourself be gooey, like Isaac's been saying. Allow yourself to just moosh into the movement and move that energy. And there is a trine from Jupiter to Venus. So Jupiter and Venus, or Venus and Taurus and Jupiter and Cancer. It's just really all about nurturing yourself and expanding on nurturing yourself, and what that looks like is extra self-care, man. It's just that simple. So we resist doing those things for ourselves because we think, oh, I gotta meet this deadline, and I have to check my email, and I have to do this and that. Really, allow yourself to care for yourself this week. It is going to completely shift the paradigm. Things are not going to look the same after the end of April, because when Uranus goes into Taurus, boy, woo, things are gonna take off. So I'm gonna go into our daily moon stuff. Here we go. Alright, let's see here. What's going on? Yeah, so we have the moon in Pisces today. April 14th, or no, it's like April, we're in April 13th. So April 14th. Yeah. So today the moon is still in Aquarius, but as of tomorrow, we're in the sign of the people, and then we're moving in to a moon in Pisces. So if you're feeling a little sleepy and tired, and like there's a trine aspect here to that Jupiter in Cancer, you might be having some uploads, downloads, side loads, really feeling what's going on with the collective a lot over this period of the 14th and 15th. And guess what? Tax season here in America. So everyone's gonna be taking all that time to be focused on that. There is there's a lot of harmony happening here. The only disharmonious point will be the Sun squared Jupiter, but that's only going to last a 24-hour period throughout. So it's going to be that like actions and expansion, and people are just going to be worried. What am I going to get back? And it's all going to be about that money. And as we move into Thursday, the 16th, the day before the new moon, when the moon goes from Pisces into Aries, that stellium is the moon is gonna go over our thoughts. Mercury is gonna go over Neptune. What illusions, what dreams are we feeling? Are we picking up? Really do the practice, because we're gonna need to use a lot of discernment, because we're gonna be feeling a lot of the collective in our bodies, because there's a stellium, lots of planets in Aries, or the body. And the moon's gonna cross over Mars, so we might feel a little bit triggered about where we belong in our body, or our ego might be a little bit flared. Just let that go. And as it goes over Saturn, we're going to be really feeling what might have a challenge with somebody who needs to teach you a lesson, or there might be somebody who's gonna say something that's gonna trigger you a little bit, and as far as like some lesson is concerned, because Saturn rules lessons. Everybody tell me where this island fever comes from. FedEx guy has some tunes. Hi, what's up? Oh, we have a friend with a banana for the chick.
Yeah.
You want to go?
This is for chick.
Oh, it's a chick. Yeah, they're inside with the chick. Go on in. Yay! Oh, chick is gonna love those vibes. Does anybody tell me what this island fever comes from? FedEx guy has some tunes. We're in humid after all of these rains, and now things are starting to warm up, and it's starting to feel a little bit more like spring and Aries season over here. Yes, sir. That was fun. All right. So, if you have any unconscious fears come up, that would be that trying to Lilith and Sagittarius, and that's going to be about your beliefs over this Moon and Aries period between Wednesday and Thursday. Then again, we already went over the 17th new moon magic point, and then on Saturn day, the moon will move into Taurus. Moon in Taurus. Moon in Taurus. Love the moon in Taurus. Good time after all of the working it out and taking our little time to do extra physicality through this week. Cheat day. Saturday is a good day to treat yourself, because the moon in Taurus, Venus in Taurus, Uranus in Taurus. Yummy. Get yourself like a little treat, or relax, do something luxurious, take a beautiful bath, go watch a sunset, do something really nurturing for yourself. Good day for it, the 18th, Saturday. Then on Sunday, the moon will still be in Taurus, so Saturday and Sunday, just, enjoy the weekend. Work it out this week, and then this weekend's gonna be nice. They're nice. So I love you all. That is all for MoonDaze this week. Have a beautiful new moon in Aries. Move them bodies. And if you need to book a reading with me, you know where to find me, queenmabsy.com. And I can tell you where the shift is happening for you. Much love. Thank you for joining me live, Deborah. Aloha.